Hey buddy, it's Crazy94. Welcome to some more Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. In the last one, we, of course, menu 2, okay. In the last one, we went through Classic Mode as a returning fighter from Melee, from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and a clone character, actually. Dr. Mario himself, yes, he came back, and, well, we saw how he worked, and he basically was the exact same as he performed back in Melee. You know, just with some minor tweaks because it's Smash 4, so it's a little different. But yeah, we saw him, and it's cool that he's back. In this episode, however, we're going to be going through Classic Mode as yet another clone fighter, but this time around a newcomer, Dark Pit. Pit's clone from Kid Icarus Uprising. Now, this actually has like some, you know, I guess lore to it, how like Dark Pit is an actual character from the Kid Icarus Uprising game, and how he's like made, I think like made from Pit's reflection or something. I'm not trying not to spoil the game. I know it's like over a decade old at this point, but like it's such a good game. Like go play it yourself. It's so good. It's so good, man. Oh, Kid Icarus Uprising. Like, can they make a new Kid Icarus game for the Switch already? It's about damn time. Anyways, Dark Pit's here. We're gonna play as him. But first off, he is an unlockable fighter. How do you unlock him? Well, in the 3DS version, you have to either play 50 versus matches or complete Classic Mode with 3 different characters, and then once you do either of those 2, Dark Pit must then be defeated on Reset Bomb Forest. Let's look at his alternate costumes real quick before we, of course, you know, get into things. So we have the standard black outfit, which is his, you know, his standard one. That's the one he knows he wears. He wears. We have a green outfit, green color. We have a it's said to be a brown outfit, which I don't really see it. His skin gets a little tanner and his hair gets like a bluey kind of look, kind of like Ike and Marth, which is pretty cool. We've got a yellow color, a red color, which Connor likes to call Blood Pit. We have a blue color, which is my personal favorite. All of these seem to be Smash originals because I cannot really see any references to these. We have a white one, which resembles Pit. Dark Pit retains his black wings and gains a red scarf, likely to better differentiate the two. It is complementary to Pit's Fallen Angel costume. And finally, purple, where he bears a slight resemblance to the Eggplant Wizard enemies from the Kid Icarus games, and we have red hair on him. So his hair like slightly changes depending on the costume. For the most part, it's just like the standard black, but like this one, it goes for like this bluish kind of purple, and this one's like a bit more brown than black. So, which is pretty cool, and his skin like changes very briefly in these two, like a bit more tan. Which is kind of nice, little difference. But yeah, that's Dark Pit. I think Dark Pit has got some pretty good costumes to him, honestly. But here we go, Dark Pit. I mean, what is there to say about him? He is a character in this game. He literally just works as Pit's clone. Funny enough, actually, along with Dr. Mario and the character we're gonna play in the next episode, these characters were supposed to be just alternate costumes of the characters that they are being clones of, kind of like how, like the Koopalings for Bowser Jr., how they're just like, instead of being just like clone characters, they are just alternate costumes, but they're just like, they're still this different character, right? Which is pretty cool. One of the main reasons why they didn't do that with Dark Pit and Dr. Mario, well, Dr. Mario, I think they just didn't do because like he was already his own fighter, and I think they just wanted to like kind of bring him back for the nostalgia and just like to, you know, because he was his own fighter in Melee, and all of a sudden he just turns into an alternate costume of Mario in this game. That doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, it made a lot more sense for Dr. Mario to at least come back as a fighter, right? Hello, get out of here. When it comes to Dark Pit, though, some of the biggest reasons kind of just have to do with Pit's, oh, that should have spiked. Oh, give me that. I'm not giving you that. Get out of here. Oh, shoot. Hold up. Nice, hit him with that. Beautiful job. Yeah, but some of the biggest reasons as to why, honestly, the main reason as to why Dark Pit wasn't made as just like a color of Pit, that killed me, that's stupid, or that caught me, is just because Dark Pit doesn't naturally use the 3 sacred treasures in the Kid Icarus games. So it wouldn't really make much sense at all for Dark Pit to use the 3 sacred treasures when he just doesn't have that as a you know, it doesn't make sense for him to use that in the actual game, in Smash, if he doesn't use it in the actual Kid Icarus. So that's the main reason why. And also his side special, which we'll get into a little bit later, has already been kind of modeled into the game, so they're just like, you know, we might as well just put him in as a natural fighter. So, I don't know, just a little bit of trivia, if y'all are curious. I mean, we're probably gonna go over trivia in, like, All-Star mode, but, like, at the same time, still, you know, there's a chance they might not even go over it, so just wanted to go over it now in case y'all wanted to. But, now for something more important, let's go over... Need a drink. Let's go over Dark Pit's special moves. So, Dark Pit... basically just like Mario, or Dr. Mario, he has essentially the same exact moveset as his counterpart, but with slightly different names and also properties. One thing I should probably mention is that Dark Pit and Pit are almost identical as characters. They really are. There are very slight differences which make them sort of different, but they really basically are the same character aside from those very, very tiny differences. So, hold on, let me get this real quick, thank you. So first off, we got his neutral special, which is called the Silver Bow, where just like Pit, he starts charging up this bow from his arrow. Sorry, he charges up this arrow from his bow, in which he can shoot in any of 4 directions, and then after a little bit, he can charge it for a certain amount of time, but after a little bit, it will then get released, right? And then that will then shoot out an arrow. Now that arrow obviously varies in power and in distance and speed, depending on how long he holds on to the, holds on to the charge. But yeah, it basically works the exact same as Palutena's bow, which is Pit's neutral special, which is Pit's bow and arrow attack. The only difference is that there's 2 main differences with Dark Pit's version, is the fact that, one, Dark Pit's doesn't have the same, like, maneuverability as Pit's does. As you can see, you cannot really, like, I'm trying to move it a lot. You barely can move it. You really cannot have that same kind of versatility that Pit's version has, right? So that's one big thing, but also the fact that Dark Pit's version is a bit stronger than Pit's. It has a bit more strength to it, a bit more damage to it. So, yeah, it has more power and it's slightly faster than Pit's, although they cannot be curved as strongly. So it makes them significantly less effective for gimping and edge guarding, but more effective as a conventional projectile. So, yeah, do with that as you please. So that's that. That's his neutral special. Then we got the side special, which I have used a few times. Very, very good side special I'm about to go into. This is called the Electroshock Arm, which is similar to Pit's upper dash arm, where Dark Pit brings out the Electroshock Arm, charges forward with super armor, and powerfully uppercuts the enemy. Now, just like Pit's, the move can actually reflect projectiles, and it sends opponents in an angle. So this one is a 43-degree angle, just cause, you know, brother! He just spiked me like that. There's no shots. Get out of here, Mario. No way. Okay, I say, no shot. He's actually taking that. But yeah, upper dash arm essentially works the exact same as Pit's, but just has a lot more power to it. A lot better of an attacking move and a killing option than Pit's upper dash arm. So unlike Pit's upper dash arm, Dark Pit's variation sends the target flying at a lower angle, dealing electrical damage, and has significantly better KO potential. And like the upper dash arm, Electroshock Arm is an overall laggy move, regardless. Hold on, let's fight Ness. Regardless of whether it is used on the ground or in the air. And it is especially evident in regard to its aerial version, as missing it results in Dark Pit enduring a lengthy and ending animation that can easily cause a self-destruct if used unwisely. Yeah, just kind of like Pit's, there's a huge amount of ending lag to the move, especially when you do miss it, and it can really screw you over if you're in a bad situation. So just saying, you need to be really, really careful. I might as well show it off just for science purposes. So I'm gonna use the upper dash arm. I was spamming the up B mad hard there, and hold on, watch this. Oh! I'm sorry, that was just cool to me. Yeah, I was spamming the up special like a ton there, and I could not do anything until that ending lag animation finished. So a huge amount of lag to it, just like Pit's version. But overall, I think it is still a better version simply because of that better, of the lower angle that he sends opponents in, and also just the higher killing power in general. So very, very solid killing option that he has. And the fact that it has super armor as well. I mean, like, come on. I think Pitts does as well, but again, yeah. And now another move that's basically the exact same as Pitts, which just like minor animation differences. This is called the power of flight, where, just like Pitts, Dark Pit can charge in a direction with his wings. And yeah, and that's basically about it. You can change the direction pretty well. I think you have a lot of, it's not like Fox or Falco's up special where it can, like, you have a lot, and I mean like a lot of versatility to like the direction you can change for the up special. But it's still like a good amount that you can change it to. Like, I will say that, absolutely. One of the biggest things about it is the fact that it's just a really good vertical or just horizontal recovery. It is more of a vertical recovery for sure. But he can absolutely like use it sort of as a horizontal recovery. It's just more of an angle if you were to use it as a horizontal recovery for sure. So yeah, I'm gold now, nice. And they're dead, beautiful. So yeah, it covers a significant amount of distance, and the flight's direction can be angled in any way except downward, making it capable of being a purely vertical and nearly horizontal recovery option. It has a max duration of 2.42 seconds. Power Flight also lasts much longer than the majority of other recovery moves. It also grants intangibility on frames 9 to 19 when used on the ground, and frames 15 to 19 when used in the air. So that's a little stat that you want to know about. Hey, it's there. Also, it's, as you could probably expect, the move does not do any damage whatsoever. It just does a measly 0%. So yeah, but just overall, a very, very good recovery. The exact same as Pitts. Aside from like very minor animation differences, it is like the exact same. Really the exact same as Pitts. But finally, we have one more side special to go. Special move to go over. This one is called the Guardian Orbitars, which is basically the exact same as Pitts. I will say the exact same. Where? Hold up. Let's like live real quick. Let's kill this guy. Thank you. Let me show it off now. So Dark Pit just uses his Guardian Orbitars to create energy shields on the other side of him, on either side of him. They reflect projectiles with 50% more power and 70% more speed than they originally had, and can block melee attacks to a certain degree, right? However, they will block if they break. They will break if they block a total of at least 50% while active, which they require 10 seconds to then regenerate. Guardian Orbitars actually do push away opponents just like Pitts, who are near Dark Pit when he wields them, which makes them capable of being edge guarded. So yeah, and also Dark Pit can also strafe while using them, even if they are broken. They have a minimum duration of 3 seconds and a maximum duration of 1.3, and have moderate ending lag when deactivated. However, they do leave Dark Pit open to attacks above and below him, and have moderate ending lag unless they are broken. In the latter case, ending lag is significantly reduced and allows Dark Pit to react almost immediately. So yeah, I mean, the Guardian Orbitars, again, for Dark Pit, essentially like no difference from Pitts whatsoever. They reflect 1.5 times the damage of the reflected projectile, and they perform the exact same way, right? They show up on either side of Dark Pit, and push away opponents, and can break after a certain amount of damage is dealt to them. And it takes a little bit of time to recharge. So yeah, it's overall a very, very good projectile. Very, very good reflector, and overall pretty good shield too, as long as no one's attacking you from above or from below. But I really do think that like Dark Pit and Pit have very, very solid reflectors in their arsenal, absolutely. While some other reflectors are definitely better for sure, theirs are very, very good. And the fact that they can just also use them as a shield is just amazing as well. So yeah, just saying. They're very, very helpful. Oh crap! Oh, I thought I was gonna live that for a second. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Oh, I wanted to reflect that so bad. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And bam, nice. There we go, killed him off. Beautiful, beautiful job. I mean, that's about it. That's Dark Pit. You know, I mean, like, what can you really expect from a character that's like really just supposed to be based on Pit and was originally supposed to be an alternate costume for Pit, kind of like the Koopalings were? Oh, I tried my best. Yeah, I mean, again, like, Dark Pit does have his differences to Pit. Like, one of the biggest things is the fact that his neutral special and his side special are just a lot better of killing moves than Pit's variations were. But overall, besides those two factors, Dark Pit is basically the exact same character. Aside from, like, I don't know, animation differences, different taunts, like, you know, like the kind of the cosmetic stuff. That's like really like the biggest differences between the two. So yeah, but Dark Pit's still pretty fun, pretty cool to still have him as a character. I do enjoy his presence, I will say. Yeah, I mean, again, like if the 3 Sacred Treasures ordeal wasn't a big issue, then in theory Dark Pit could have just kind of worked as an alternate costume kind of ordeal. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But like, still, I'm a fan of the character. I think I like him a lot. And his theme song, oh my gosh, don't even get me started with that theme song. It's so freaking good. Okay, here we go. Credits time with the Dark Pit himself. One thing I actually do just like about Dark Pit is just the fact that he's just like an edgier Pit. So that's one thing I definitely will give to him. He really just like the edgy version of Pit. Yeah, I really want to say like what happens in Kid Icarus Uprising, but I really do not want to spoil that game for anyone who hasn't played it yet, or at least watched a playthrough of it. I mean, like, again, I do realize the game is over a decade old at this point. At the same time, though, it's still so worth like wow, I cannot speak properly. Experiencing it for yourself, right? It really is. It's so worth it. I really do suggest anyone who has a 3DS and who has never played the game, play it. Either get a copy or do some other stuff to get the game accessible to you and play it, because it's so freaking good. I mean, it's made by the guy who made Super Smash Bros., for goodness sake. Masahiro Sakurai, a goat in video game development. And yeah, he made Smash, obviously the entire series, and he also, Kid Icarus is like his other like main project series, right? I think he's been there since the original Kid Icarus, I think, I don't know. Unless he only came in with Uprising. I don't know if he made the first 2 Kid Icarus games. I don't know. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And he did. I can't really say anything because I'm just saying I don't know. But again, I mean, let me know down in the comments. Did Masahiro Sakurai develop or just like in general work on the first 2 Kid Icarus games? Or did he not go into development until Uprising? Because I want to know, because I genuinely have no clue. I really don't. I could have sworn that like he worked on all 3, but like now that I think about it, I don't even know if he was around, if he was even in Nintendo at the time of the first game, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good photo, by the way. Just Dark Pit and Pit just kind of like fighting each other, dueling, while Palutena just kind of watches them. It's sick, it's sick. It really is. Kind of having a sparring match, yeah. Alright, there we have it. That's Dark Pit! Pretty bad score I got with him. Goodness me. I could not have gotten a better score. Jeepers. Let's go into training mode real quick. And let's see how Dark Pit is going to look with his taunts and of course his final smash. You know, obviously he can't have the 3 Sacred Treasures as his final smash. So he's gonna have something different this time around, or compared to Pit. Let's look at his taunts real quick. So what's up, taunts? Nice little. Who wants some? Yeah, taunted him with his blade. We have the side taunts. Kind of similar to Pit's, honestly, but just like the slightest of differences, and saying watch out. And then finally the down taunt. Game on, while also kind of like shooting his blade forward. So I also like how Pit and Dark Pit perform. How like depending on like the move you use, and also the taunts too. Whatever they have like in their hands, either whether it be the blade or like the what is it? No, it's not the taunt. The taunt doesn't do it. The taunt like actually separates them all the time. But like depending on like the moves they do, they can actually like see now he's holding it like connected together. Like it's so cool, right? It's so freaking cool. And then he like changes it back up, right? It really just like an animation kind of thing, or like a cosmetic kind of thing. But it's just really cool how he like changes how the way he holds his blade. Depending on like what move he does. So yeah, it's just nice. I never mentioned that before, but I just wanted to mention it again. Or no, I might have mentioned it in Brawl with Pit, I forget. But here we have Dark Pit's Final Smash, the Dark Pit Staff. So, very similar to Zelda and Sheik's light arrow attack. Very, very similar, where he pulls out his namesake weapon and he fires an extremely long range and powerful charge shot, just like the light arrow. Opponents are sent flying diagonally, and the closer they are to Dark Pit when the Final Smash activates, the stronger the impact. So, oh really? Hold up, that's curious to me. So, hold up, this is gonna kill. So a lot of range, obviously, and that just kills. So it says this: the closer they are to Dark Pit when the Final Smash activates, the stronger the impact. Hold on, let me see this. Oh, I see. Okay, because he does like that first initial 1% startup attack, and then the actual like blade hit or like the beam. So that's cool. Okay, I did not know that, but it's a pretty cool Final Smash. I like it a lot, actually. Really, it really fits Dark Pit. I mean, and it uses his namesake weapon, like his standard OG weapon from the Uprising game. So it's just cool. It's freaking Final Smash. Or is it, sorry, his trophy in general is just really, really cool. I like the pose and how he actually has his staff in his hand. But here we have it, Dark Pit. Pit's mysterious black-clad doppelganger, Dark Pit. Some call him Pit 2, but he really doesn't like it. When he first appears, he immediately goes after both Pit and the Underworld Army. In Smash Bros, he uses moves a lot like Pit's, though both his arrow and his sacred treasures are different. He doesn't really have sacred treasures, he has the staff. That's his sacred treasure, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that is it for today's episodes of Super Smash Bros. 4. The 3DS, or Super Smash Bros. 4, whatever. In the next one, we're gonna be heading through Classic Mode as, you guessed it, another clone fighter. But again, another newcomer too. This one from the Fire Emblem series, specifically Fire Emblem Awakening, Lucina, who is Lucina supposed to be a clone of? You can guess for yourself. I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty damn obvious, especially if you obviously have played Smash before, or like even Fire Emblem Awakening. Like you will probably know like who she's supposed to be a clone of, but we'll get more into depth about it in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, comment, all the good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch, the second channel, the music channel, and the VOD channel. They're of course down below and in the description. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Pop-Tart out.